I think it's fine now. We can begin the class. Okay, I can share the screen now. Hope you all are audible. You all can hear me? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry for the delay. There was, I don't know what's the technical issue here. We are working from college. So the network shift here, right? So there was some technical glitches. Okay, that's okay, fine. So how was the question paper? IA question paper? It was okay, easy, difficult. Any inputs on that? Any comment? Hello? You're open to discussions, you can talk. So another 2 minutes we'll begin. Was the IA question paper? It's okay.
Yes, sir. It was okay.
So which part you felt easy and which part you felt difficult? Think there was a lag or it's okay? My audio is clear to you? I think it's clear because I can see the subtitles here, right? So that's what it will help me analyzing. Yeah, I think the comment on it, like what part you felt it easy and what part you felt it difficult. Hmm? So you're all there. Okay. So anything you want to discuss? Subject discussion. Hello? Of the call is on, right? Everyone? Yeah, it's on. Fine. Okay, we'll begin with. All right. So let's go with the concepts. So here we have operating system. So which we will go up to 4. We'll go up to knowledge level 4. I'm trying to lower my hand. It is not taking.
Sir, your voice isn't clear, sir.
Repeat it, Harshit.
No, sir, it's not clear.
So the next part is about directives, which will go up like we going to see next one. So what is meant by directives and what is and all that we're going to see. Idea, right? Like that. What is meant by this directory? Hmm? Hello. What do you understand by the word directory? Any idea? What is meant by the word directory? Hmm? What does it mean? So, this So let us see the discussions on directories without any other discussions. So anything you want to tell me, please let me know. If not, we'll go into the concept of directories. Okay. It's getting loaded. So for this module 4, you need to refer chapter number 13, okay, which is called file systems. So in this file systems, we can reach up to knowledge level 4, K4 level, where we can go up to apply level. Okay. So let us see what was that apply level and what all things we can do in the directives. So let us move on to the directive slide. What module was easy, right? While writing in your IA. Even second one also easy. You might have felt a bit difficulty, maybe in terms of third module. If not, everything will be perfectly fine. It will be very easy, right? Okay. So yeah, so this is what we are trying to see. You can see these directives. Okay. So what a file will do is a file will store all this information. So I'll try to extend this here itself. So module slideshow. Let us try one more time. So it will have certain parameters or certain fields. Okay. Whenever any file is trying to get accessed, right? So we need to control that with the help of this directives. Let us see one by one what all the entities we have to control. Okay. What is first one? File name. So whatever file we are trying to create in the operating system, which will have a file name, right? Let us say you're going to create a program, or you're going to create a directory, or you're going to create an MP3 file. So whatever the file it is, which will have the file name. You can see this here, file name was available, right? So in that file name, so and this file name you can see here, this is the file name, this one. So whatever we enter here, so this was file name. This can be any file. It can be .doc file, whatever. But whatever file it is, we have, let us say, file name can be 1, 2, 3. Okay. Or file name can, let us say, or it can be your USN number also. We have, it will be displayed here. So name of the file. So whatever file you have named, let us say you have the folder with you. Okay. Inside this folder, you have a file. Okay. What we display here, right? What we display. So the display name is called as file name. Okay. Display name is your file name. Okay. Now what about size? Whenever you see the document here, right, it will show you the file name here. Followed by here, it will show you 15 KB. Okay, it will show you in terms of KB or 15 KB, 140 KB. It will show you, right? So this was the size of that. So that size info also will be given here in this place. Type and size. What is type? You can also see here. Let us say this file name, let us say is ABC. So ABC. Right? It will show you. It will show you after that ABC dot. What it will show? Dot docx. Sorry, it's getting overlapped. ABC dot docx. Okay. .docx, and it will show you the space what you have. So what does it mean? It will show you the complete information about the file. Okay, which means it is going to tell you what is the file name. All right, and after that it is going to tell you about file size and file type and location information. Location information means what? Where exactly this file is located. So where you have saved that. It can be in D drive, it can be in E drive, whatever drive it is. Okay, where this information is stored. Just a second. So let me connect it again. Yes, it came. Okay. Yeah, it's getting loaded. Let us see. Okay, we are into this field. So let us look at that. Okay, so look at this location information. So what does it mean, location information? It means that where the file exactly it is located. Okay. So after that we have protection information. So sometimes that file can be now, sometimes you might have seen here, right? The file can be showing you as only read-only file, which means we cannot able to edit anything on it, or we cannot able to write anything on it. Okay, so protection view, it can be read-only file or it can be writable file. Okay, all the information will be available in the protection information. The next is open count. What is this open count? It was interesting here. Open count. We do not know anything, or any idea you have about open count? So open count means how many of them have opened this file. Let us say number of process currently accessing this file. So we have one file located with us. How many of them were trying to access this file is the access count is what going to show for us. Is that clear? So that's the open count. Open count means that. Okay, you have one file, corresponding file with you. Let us say that one file, whatever you are having, how many of them are viewing it, or how many of them are trying to access it. That is your open count. Okay, I'm trying to connect to the slideshow. So it is connected. Yes, let us go with it. Okay, so this is open count. Let us say two number of devices are connected. So open count is 2, which means one file what we have, this file is opened by person A and same file is opened by person B also. Okay, so multiple access is happening with this file. If you are stored in your, let us say, drive, let us say in your Google Drive you have stored it, so you have shared this corresponding file and you have shared it, viewing it. So number of process currently accessing this file. Okay, which means we are understanding in this way A and B, but actually this open count, which means how many number of, this is not a person. So process A also is accessing, process B also is accessing. So number of process it is going to access, right? That is open count. Okay, what is lock? Whether the corresponding process is currently in an exclusive manner. If let us say I don't want to give access to A and B, I just want to give the access, let us say D process. I want to give for process D. Okay, now I lock this corresponding thing, lock it, which means further this drive will not be shared with A, will not be shared with B. Okay, only D will be getting it. So that's what I locked it. I locked it for D process. After completion of D process only, I can give that to any other process. That way we can try to do it. Okay, that's what you will do, right? Whenever you are trying to do anything in your Google Drive, if you want to share your PPT or if you want to share your Excel files, what you do, you will not share with anyone. Only you have the access. Okay, no other person can edit or view anything. If you share only, they can view it. But here, this is corresponding to the process, not for the person. Okay, we are giving examples like a person, but in this reality, you need to understand this. This has to happen. This has to happen like a process. You are going to allow the process is open count. You are going to lock it. That is the thing. What is happening for the process, not for the person. Okay. Now, what about this flag? The information about the nature of the file. What is the nature? How can you decide the nature of a file? Like, which is the file is it's a directory, or it can be a link, or it can be a mounted file system. So it can be a directory, it can be a link, whatever way it is, that's a flag. Let us say it's a directory. So let's say directory D flag will be set to 1. For a reference I'm writing here. Let us say it's a link, it will be set to 1. Let us say it's a mounted flag, this is going to set to 1. So like this, there will be some mechanism here. So based on that, these flags, this file can understand a directory or a link or information what we have in these flags, this data will be known. And what about this one? MISC means miscellaneous. Miscellaneous means any other information. Okay, this miscellaneous information is like ID of the owner, date and time of the creation. So who has created it? Let us say you see, right click on any of the file, you see who is the owner of it. You'll come to know where exactly it has started from. Okay, and what time it has created, what time and what about the time they have last modified. All the information of that about the shortens. We have file name, file type and size, location information, okay, production information, open count, log, flash, sales. Total how many fields are there? Total 8 number fields are there here to access the directories. Let us see one by one. Okay, so file system needs to grant users file naming freedom. Whenever if I am creating a file, the operating system should give me a freedom to give the name for this file. If operating system only is creating the file name as 1237, if I create one more file, it will do 1238. Okay, it will do like, I don't have any freedom to do it, rename it, or I don't have any freedom to do it. Let us say whenever you are capturing, you have a mobile phone with you and you are trying to capture camera, you're capturing the photos or images. In that way, images will be, let us say IMC, okay, 12394. You have observed that? Let us say IM4 2021 123 124. It will go up to 999. After that, it will start, let us say, with A series, A underscore 123. It will go up to 999 with A also. After that, it will go with B underscore 123. There is some naming convention here. Okay, it will do by itself defaultly. if let us say you are capturing photos, and every time when you capture a photo, if the operating system is asking you in your mobile phone, name the photo, then how disgusting it will be. It will be very difficult for us to capture the images, right? So in that case, there they have giving, they themselves are giving the image names. You don't have any freedom to name it. But at the end, later if you want to rename and upload, you have the possibility. Okay. So these two should be there for the user. The user should name the file freely, and user should able to share it freely. File naming freedom should be there, and file sharing freedom should be there for the user. Okay. Once these two are there for the user, uses a directory structure to organize them. Let us say this is the main directory, and this is your subdirectories. Subdirectories, let us say, is A, B, and C, and suppose it's having something here, beta, alpha, gamma. Okay, don't worry about these names, alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. They are not the variants here, right? You all know that, right? Conventions, alpha variant, beta variant, gamma variant, delta variant, right? You all hear? Are you hearing them? Yes or no? So like that, here the file naming conventions also were being given appropriately like this. So in this manner, they are given the file names. Okay. And so this is the master directory. This one is the master directory, and these are called as user directories. Okay. So file system creates several directories. It is going to create several directories. What are the several directories? It can start from main directory, user directory, up to several directories. Okay. Uses a directory structure to organize them. First thing is what? Provides file freedom and file sharing. So these two, file naming freedom and file sharing, it is going to provide. Okay. Next, there are something called directories. Say this is the root branch system. This root has stopped here. Okay, so this has given to this. This has stopped here. But whereas this is continuing, A is having one more directory here, right? It has given to this. It has given to one of the alpha file for admin and something for projects. Again, this has two files. It has stopped. Again, this has subdirectory here. This also have subdirectory here. This will have the programs. So this way, it is like a branch, like tree. Let us say you have a tree. This is a branch. This is a branch. This is a branch. For this branch again stem is there. For this branch again stem is there. For this branch again stem is there. Here you have a leaf, right? So like that here, this is the main root. So here you have a roots, right? Okay. So this is your root. For this root, this is your stem. This is your substem. This is again substem here. This is your leaf. Like that here, the root. So directory, like this we have files. So this like tree structured, we have the directories. Okay. So we can have home directory, we can have current directory. Let us say if you are based on this portion. So this portion, if you want to root this one, so root slash a slash projects, right? So you having program. Okay, this is your, okay, this is your what? This is your directory. Now how to understand this main directory and current directory? Okay, so you are at position, you are at main directory. When you are at this second, you are at current directory. This is your main directory and this is your current directory. Okay, so path names used to relative path and absolute path. So there are two things here. How to understand this relative and absolute? Relative means what? Which is close by, close to, nearby. Absolute means exact name we need to give. Okay. So where SEC is located? It's located in Bangalore. That can be relatively told. It's located in Bangalore at Vidyanagar Airport Road. So on so address, so on so door number. That's your absolute. Okay. So two ways we can do that. One is relatively we can do it. Absolutely we can do it. Okay. Now let us see how these graphs have been given. So let us say, see, actually if you want to access this web browser, web server, what we have to do, we have to come from this directory through this path, you have to come and you have to access this. Some other extra, we are trying to directly access through this. So this is where directly we can do it. What is this? That's by using directory graphs. Let us see one by one. So this is like a tree structure which leads to a fundamental asymmetrical in way different users can access a shared file. So let us say this is your web server. Okay, web server we can able to access by different users. N number of users we can able to user 1, 2, 3, 4, n number of users we can able to do it. What's the solution? We use acrylic graph structure for directives. So like this, they are told to use the graph structure. Okay, we have used it. A link is directed connected between two existing files in such directives. So if you see here, if you see this one here, okay, so see this, there is a link here. The link is called as quest, this one. So using this way, we can able to the solution, we can able to directly use this corresponding web service. So this web server, whatever we have here, this web server can be accessed directly by this. Instead of connecting with the, let us say this block, directly we can able to access this. So that's what we can able to do the graphs. And next what we can do is, we can operate on these directives. How can we operate on these directives? Okay, by using search option we can operate. What kind of search we can do? We can able to, let us say after searching we can create new file, or we can delete the file, or we may update some entities on the file. After searching, let us say you want to search for something. Let us say you want to search some file you are searching here. Let us say you have a column here, you are searching SEM2. Okay, semester 2 details you want to search. You got some n number of files again here after searching. Okay, this first file, second file, and third file. If you take first file, what you may do, you may delete that file. You don't want that file, or you want to create duplicate of that. So you want to delete, let us say. First file you deleted. Second file you open it again and you want to update the information. Let us say at last something date was there, you want to update. So update information you can do it. So that's what by using updating file entities you can do it. That is one. Next is listing a directory. You don't want to keep it in second directory. You copy that, you cut it off, and wherever you want to paste it, you can paste it, and you can do the listing. So listing a directory. Or you don't want the complete, all these three folders are located in single file. You don't want this one, you can delete the complete entity. So like that you can able to list it, or you can able to delete it. So this way we can able to operate on directives. We can able to create it, update it, list it, or delete it. Okay, so this deletion is going to become complicated when this directory structure is a graph. So this directory structure is in the form of a graph. It becomes complicated for us to delete. If it is tree, let us say if it is like tree structure, we have a roots here. This is a tree structure, we have stems for that. Okay, you delete this root correspondingly, everything will get deleted. Okay, but whereas in case of structure like this, we have a block here and something we have connected to other block. Here something we are connected. There is no fashion of connection like root or whatever. So in this case, if you delete this root, okay, so the connection is still there, but it is not connected. Okay, which means we can say that it becomes complicated while deleting it if you have something like in terms of graph structure. But whereas in case of root structure, it becomes easy for us. Okay, because this file may have a multiple parenting. This graph, let us say, is coming connected to the from here, from other block, from other block is connected to this, from second block. Even you delete this one, other two entities will come pointing to the graph. So because of this reason, it becomes difficult to delete it completely. Okay, a file may have multiple parents. So let us say this is a parent 1, this parent 2, and parent 3. So like this, we have multiple parents for this. It becomes difficult for us to delete the actual entity of that. Okay, now a file system maintains a link count with each file. So how many links it is having? So this file is having the link with one file, 2 files or 3 files. So this count will be maintained in order to have an transparency. So the count will be maintained there. Okay. And now how to organize these directives? So organize these directives. So we have something called flat file. Flat file means whatever information you have, you can able to dump on top of it. That's called like flat file structure. Okay. So in that is search linearly. So linearly, if you're going to search, it is inefficient. Linearly means what? One after the other. One, you search one, next you search two, three, four. You have 1,000 entities here, you have to go up to 1,000. So if you want to search in this manner, it becomes inefficient. Okay, instead of using this flat file structure, we can go with hash table directory. Okay, so that's what you'll see right online portals, like we have hashtags. Correct? We have hashtags for us, right? So hashtag you give, and you give the name for example here 123x123. So like this you give the hashtag, so it will be easy for us to search anything. So that's your hash table directory. So this is your effective way of searching. Okay, hash with open address requires a single table. It requires a single table entity. Sometimes at most of two comparisons needed to locate a file. Sometimes we need additional information to locate a file. This is what you know better than me, right? Whenever you are searching your friend online, let us say on Facebook or Instagram, you search by name and it will ask you name is not enough, which school he studied or which school she studied, he or she, right? Or what's the first name, what's the last name. Along with one of the information of this hashtag, one more information has also to be given. This first information, second information. Adding these two, the search will affect much more effectively. Okay. So you're going to do that to change the size of it or delete it, whatever way we want, we can do it. You can search, you can change the file, you can delete the file. So whatever you want to do, you can able to do it. Okay. And next is B plus tree structure. So B plus tree structure is the fastest searching technique, and it is going to be effective in adding and deleting it. Okay. How they are going to do B plus tree structuring? M way search they have made, M way. So what is this M? This M value should be always less than 2 times of D. What is this? The order of the tree. Okay. So M way search they are going to do. Let us say you have a tree type structure here, which is having the root structures. Now we have a node A, node B, node C, and let us say node 4, node 5 like this, node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, and node 5 like this we have. Now the order of this tree is, let us say 5 for example. Okay, 2 into 5, that value let us say is 10, which is your M value. Okay, so this value is your M way search. You can find 10 ways to search it. Okay, let us see that with example in much more clearly. Next is balanced tree. Balanced tree also is the fastest searching technique. Balanced tree also is having, it's very simple. What they are trying to do is, if you have n number of branches, okay, n number of branches, they'll search left side one and right side one, left side one and right side one, they'll search. That's why if this n value, they multiplied, n value is like d value here, so 2d will be the number of searches what it will perform. Okay, so this much more clearly we'll see it. So this is your B plus tree. We'll continue this structure of this B plus tree. How is it? Okay, it's very simple. This is like one side you see here, left side one entity, right side one entity. Again here left side one entity and right side one entity, and we have center one entity again here. This is left side again, right, and again center. So what exactly it is going to do and how this is going to search? Let us say you want to search an alphabet Z. Okay, how this tree is going to find out this Z, or how you want to find alphabet B, how this tree is going to find out alphabet B. Okay, in the B plus tree structure we'll discuss much clearly in the next class. Okay, so next is mounting. After this, mounting of B plus tree structure we'll look at, interesting part, and after that we'll look at mounting of file system, how to mount it, and after that we'll look at the next concept, file protection. Okay. So with that note, I'll conclude it for today's session. So any questions and any queries, please feel comfortable to ask me. Any questions and queries? So in the next class, we're going to discuss on B plus tree structure, as well as we'll discuss on the next topic, which is file protection. Okay, so with that note, I would like to conclude today's class. So there was some initial technical glitch. I really sorry for that. So let us see that it will not happen in future. Okay, fine. So hope you all are safe, and everyone, hope if you are registered for the vaccination drive from 3rd onwards, it will be done. So you can, if you're not registered, please do register for the vaccination drive. Okay, that's it from my side. Anything you want to ask, you're comfortable, feel free to ask me. If not, see you in the next class. So thank you all.